Turn up the lights, it's party time. Open the doors, it's party time. We on them bottles, it's party time. Turn up the lights in here. Turn up the lights, it's party time. Open the club, it's party time. We on them bottles, it's party time. We need some lights, 'cause tonight we're gon' party. Yeah, we gon' party like we're never gonna party no more. And tonight we're gon' do it. Yeah, we gon' do it like we're never gonna do it anymore. No more, 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 no more.
Hey, 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 it's Thursday night, and we are right back here with you again tonight. This is the Jammin Jukebox radio show, and I'm your host, DJ Delta Dawn. And tonight we have got a show for you, folks. We have got Mr. Daron Jones from the R&B group 112, who is now making his way on his own and as a up-and-coming solo artist, and I want to bring him on right now. Hello, Daron. Welcome to the show.
Hey, how you doing? Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. We are so glad. You've been a busy man of late.
Yeah, just making the music and trying to share with people, and that's what it's all about right now.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. Well, I want to jump right into it. I understand you have been working on an album that you just released called Reinvention, and tell us how that came about.
Well, I just love music, and I love the aspect of sharing it with people. So Reinvention is the album that I'm working on at the moment, and a couple of the singles are out online right now, including the one you just played, Party Time, Baby Let Me Prove It, and Beautiful, of course, and also Infatuation. So, right now I'm wrapping up the album, and I don't have an official release date yet, but it will be out soon.
Well, I must tell you, when I got hold of this music, I was very impressed because I love the sound that you've infused in it. It's I grew up in the 80s and 90s, and so when I heard it, I was like, man, this is like throwback, old school stuff. But it's got that modern feel to it, and you've done a phenomenal job. We're playing the hell out of it on our station, I must tell you. So it's it's real dope, man.
I appreciate that. That means a lot because, that's really what I wanted to do, kind of bridge the gap between the era that I came from in the 90s and adding some of the new flavor that has inspired me, as I see music progress. Yeah.
Well, you are doing a phenomenal job, and, you're pretty multi-talented. You just don't perform music. You also write, you sing, you produce music. Out of all that you've done musically, what do you find to be the most interesting or the best thing that you like to do out of all of it?
Well, in general, I just love making music, but I think performing is probably my favorite thing to do, like live performances. I think that's the most fun because people get to hear the song, but, your expression of it live, it kind of takes it to a whole nother level.
Yeah, and many of your fans are listening tonight. Twitter has just been blowing up for the last week and a half, 2 weeks since we started promoing this pretty heavy, and and I've been seeing a lot of stuff about 112. You're really something. 112 was all the rage, man, and correct me if I'm wrong, Daron, but did you guys get together and do some stuff? Play some shows late?
Yeah, recently we started touring across the country. We did Shane Park in Detroit with Jagged Edge, and we also did Atlantic City, and we're gonna be doing a lot more shows soon. We're about to do Cleveland on the 1st, so just be looking out for 112. As a group coming to a city near you, we want to really officially we're trying to put together a tour It's called For the Fans Tour, and we're just going to tour for the fans and do a lot of our classic music and also, a lot of the solo music that we're doing. We're performing that on the show as well. So, we're just doing our thing right now. So kind of keep your eyes peeled, and anybody that's listening, if you're not following that official 112 Twitter page, it's at official 112 on Twitter, and you can get all the information about all the upcoming shows from that page.
And you have got quite the street team too that they just promote your stuff and promote 112 stuff, and I see stuff all the time for you, probably more than any other artist on Twitter, to be honest. And I follow a lot of them, indie, mainstream, you name it, and you've got quite the following. So I will be watching out because I hope you guys come to North Carolina. I really do. I would love to check you out.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be coming down there pretty soon. You know what I'm saying? I definitely want to shout out all my winners, everybody that follow at Daron Jones Music on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? That's my fam right there. We all winners. You know what I'm saying? Because we strive to be the best at what we do. We strive to be excellent every day. You know what I'm saying? At everything. So I want to shout out all my winners. I know the timeline going crazy, so I appreciate all the support that they consistently give me.
Yeah, most definitely. And you've got a new fan in me too. I kind of.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it because for somebody to say, yeah, I like a song, that's one thing. But then for you to say, break it down as far as exactly, what my music is actually saying, from a sonic standpoint, just bridging the gap between the old and the new, and the fact that you recognize that, that means a lot to me too as a creative person.
Daron, I grew up listening to music. From the time I was old enough to know what music was, I have loved music. And, I'm probably a lot older than you, truthfully, and I grew up in the 80s and in the 70s and the 80s, And so the 90s came along, and when I got into the 90s, I was having kids, And so now, I was telling my daughter just last week, my oldest daughter, who will be 22 in October, and I was telling her I was going to have you on the show. She goes, Mom, you got to be kidding me. She goes, I might call in. So, we might hear from her tonight. But anyway, she was telling me, just how, she said, Mom, you have no idea how big 112 was in the 90s and how big they still are. I said, oh, wow, what have I walked into? But no, seriously, I love it because, like I said before, when I listened to this album, I was so excited because, it seems like mainstream radio today, it has a lot of the same sound, and it's all good stuff. Great dance music. I'm not taking anything away from any of it. But for me, somebody who grew up in the era that I did, it was refreshing. It was very refreshing to see that and to hear it and to see what you're doing. And so, I'm like, guys, he's got to get on mainstream because we got to bring some of this music back in to regular radio. We just got to. So I'm going to do all I can to help it get out there.
I appreciate that, you know what I'm saying, and it's all about, the fans. It's all about the winners, man. It's like y'all dictate what really happens on the radio. Y'all dictate what happens in the mainstream, So, I think the internet is just a great avenue, for artists like myself who, just want to get my music out there, and it's a great avenue to get it to the people. But at the same time, y'all control how much of an impact the music make with the level of y'all support and just, helping us spread the word and stuff like that. So I want to shout out, you first and foremost, too, just for having me on the show and, recognizing what I'm doing out here. And I also want to shout out my winners, you know what I'm saying? You already know what it is. We do it big.
Most definitely. Well, appreciate that. And it's an honor to have you on, no doubt about it.
That's what's up.
And you and music go way back too. If I understand correctly, you were pretty young when you started in music. When you started, when you realized that music was what you wanted to do, and how did that all come about?
Well, I always had a gift for music. When I was young, I had a gift for music. I always had an ear for music. I started out, playing the piano by ear and anything that had something to do with music, I just had like a natural knack for it. Like when I got to school, just certain instruments. I was, very early in school, playing a lot of different instruments by ear: the violin, the viola, the cello, the trumpet, the piano. So music has always kind of been, just a part of my, my DNA really. Because I started so early. And then once I started learning songs by ear and then bringing them to school and playing them for the kids in the classroom, that's really let me know that, you know, that was my purpose, you know, to give music to people and bless their lives with the music. So, I mean, it's always been my thing.
Well, you know, I agree wholeheartedly, because I think when you're young, you really know if you've got it. And music, especially today for kids, is so important. And, you know, my children have always, you know, grown up loving music, and it's a huge part of their life. My son, as a matter of fact, he's played drums since he was 6 years old, and he's, you know, now the quint drummer in the marching band in the high school. He's a senior this year, and he has a set of drums, and you know, he has a little mini garage band. I mean, but it's in his blood, and it's just like you say, it's in your DNA. And so, and I'm not that musical. I love music and I play music, but you know, in terms of spinning it, but I don't play it, you know. But and you know, my youngest daughter, she's the same way. So it really, I think it is a passion that is born within you, you know, at an early age, and you just, you know, it's just something that it grows within you and you grow within it, and it just grows with you as you go. And but that's indicative, because when I've watched your, you know, your videos and stuff on YouTube, your demonstrations and all, you can really see just how multi-talented you are with, you know, your demonstrations of things. And I think what you're doing there is a phenomenal thing, because it's really showing a lot of folks, you know, how to do certain things with music that otherwise, you know, if they didn't have that, they may not know. And great tutorials, you know, great instruction there. And so it's, you know, I've enjoyed all of it.
That's what's up. I appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Now, you know, I know from this album that you've got coming out, Reinvention, do you have a particular song that you know, you favor over any other? I mean, when you're writing them all, I know it, you know, that might be hard sometimes, but do you as an artist ever have your favorite?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I do have a favorite, you know, a lot of times, you know, you love every song the same, but I think certain songs become significant for a certain period of time. Like on the 112 Part 3 album, people always ask me what's my favorite song, and there was a song called I'm a Player that, you know, I wrote and produced on the 112 album, and it was very significant to me because it was just so honest as far as where I was in my life at that time, just being a young dude and just being out there doing my thing and not really wanting to settle down, but knowing that at one point in my life I would, you know, but just being honest with myself and being honest with, you know, anybody I was dealing with at that time, just kind of letting them know, like, this ain't, you know, settling down ain't something that I want to do right now. And it was out in a time when everybody in R&B was writing love songs and songs about loving you for the rest of your life. And, you know, just I think that song to me, it kind of stuck out for me in a place when, you know, everything was just hunky-dory in R&B, but this song was a song that was kind of just speaking some truth that might not, you know, be what a female want to hear at the time, but it was still the honest truth. So, but this, to answer your question on that Reinvention album, I have a song called To Learn, and the whole the hook on the song is basically saying you got to cry sometimes to learn. And for me, at the point I am in my life, you know, becoming a man and just being older and really learning life lessons, I learned a lot of life lessons the hard way, and I think that this song To Learn really speaks to the heart of a lot of people. You know, when I play the song on Ustream, you know, people cry. You know, every time I play this song on Ustream, somebody cries. So, I mean, it resonates with the heart of people, and it makes them think about the things that we all go through in life that's just not, you know, they may not be on the up and up, like it rains sometimes, and sometimes when it rains, it pours. So, I mean, this is one of those songs that kind of makes you think about those times, and for me, it made me appreciate those times, because those times that make us stronger.
That's right, and you know, that's the thing I love about music. Music as a whole is probably the only thing out there that will unify people. You know, and music always has a message, a strong message, and you know how people interpret music all different kinds of ways. You know, you may hear a song and you may get a message that someone else doesn't get, but it's speaking to you in a way that you identify with. And especially when you have a song like to learn. Everybody's had trials. Everybody's been through experience. Everybody's got something they can say, hey, this has happened to me, and they can identify. And, and when you have a song that strong, it's not a song that's a hit on the radio for a few weeks and then you forget about it and you go on to the next thing. I mean, it's one that stays with you. And that's the kind of music that I like. I like music to speak to me because it means something, it's good to have the head banging and the head bobbing music and tapping along. I mean, all that's great too. But music is,
right.
I think, the real reason for music is it is the best way for anyone to express themselves. Whether you're listening to it, you're performing it, you're writing it, whatever. It's just a great form of self-expression.
Absolutely. And for me, music has to have a purpose. It has to have substance. It can't just be a song and a dance. It really has to be a message in the music.
Oh, most definitely. And and speaking of music, in your day, you have worked with some pretty big artists. Written some music for the likes of Pink and Usher and just some big names out there. And, I was so impressed by that because, there's more to you, Daron, than just performing. I mean, you are multi-talented all the way around. And, Quincy Jones just don't have anything on you, I must tell you.
Well,
I don't feel Quincy will get mad at me,
I don't know about that. That's flattering to say the least. But
Oh no,
I appreciate the compliment though.
Quincy's
but
awesome,
yeah.
You have
I'm
been
inspired by my peers,
Yeah. Oh yeah, and
I'm inspired
and
by
I
them.
love how you're all kind of banded together and you help each other. There's some genres of music where everybody's kind of out for themselves, but but in the genre you're in, you've got your Ushers and you've got your Pinks and you've got some of the artists that you've worked with. I mean, you've all got each other's back, and you're all working together for the same common goal, and that's to bring the best music possible to the fans and to the listeners.
Absolutely.
And in whatever form that you can. And but tell me what it's been like to work with some of those artists for you as an artist.
For me, just I'm a fan. I'm a fan of music. So when I get a call from a Pink and she says, "Yo, I heard this song and I'm trying to figure out, is somebody using it? Did you sell that already? I really love this record." You know what I'm saying? Like for me, as a fan of music in general, I mean, it's no better feeling. You know what I'm saying? It's no better feeling to get that call, or for Keisha Cole to say, I love this record, and for the executive at Interscope to say, yeah, Daron, this is the big record on this album. We're gonna put the house on it. That's what I dream of. And that's what I do it for. To do it at the highest level and to be creative with other artists and just make the best music possible that touches the souls of the people.
And that has got to be the highest compliment. I mean, to get a call like that. But you're a pretty big name yourself. So I mean, it's likewise. I mean, I think artists. There are performers and there are artists, and performers need artists in order to be able to do what they do.
Right.
And because not everybody's a songwriter, not everybody's a writer. And, they need that inspiration because that's not their gift. Their gift is maybe something else. So it's such a nice collaborative when you can put what you do with what somebody else does, and it just makes magic. It just comes across, to the listener or the fans in such a way, and it's just, you see a lot of this now, especially in the R&B world. You've got all kinds of artists collaborating, even vocally on songs, and they're just blowing up the charts, blowing up the radios, and it's just a really neat thing when you can see that unity, because you don't see that a lot, in other genres. You just don't.
Absolutely, I feel you.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And on that note, what is I don't know. Do you mind sharing what's some of the songs that you've actually written for some of these artists?
Well, I wrote and produced I Should Have Cheated for Keisha Cole. I produced a song called Forecast for Jamie Foxx, and it was written by Ariel from Next. I want to shout out Ariel from the group Next. He wrote the lyrics to the song, and I actually created the track.
Cool.
I've done music for Kelly Price, a song called You Complete Me that was a duet between her and I. That was like, I mean, I feel like Kelly Price is one of the greatest female vocalists in R&B, so that was like the biggest compliment, you know, to do a duet with her, and that was very humbling and flattering. And I mean, that's just the name of fruit. I want to shout out the late great Notorious B.I.G. Rest in peace. I produced a song with him called "Loving You Tonight" with R. Kelly. So it's just, you know, to name a few of the records that I've done.
I think that's great. I mean, Daron, that's awesome. And the only reason I asked you to share that is because, you know, you've got a lot of fans out there, and I'm sure there are some that know everything there is to know about you, down to who you produced what for. But, you know, for those who don't, they may have heard the song, and now they can say, oh, my, you know, Daron had a hand in this, or Daron did this. And, you know, it just adds more to the credit that you need to be given for what you do, you know. And so kudos to you, man. That is awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, now, in your whole musical career, you know, you being an artist yourself, who would you say, and if, you know, you could have more than one, but who would you consider to be your inspiration for music? Where do you draw it from?
A lot of different artists, you know, Stevie Wonder, Donny Hathaway, Isaac Caree, he's a gospel singer. He's one of my favorite singers. Kim Burrell, of course, Michael Jackson, Prince. I mean, it's a lot of people.
You're talking my language now. You are talking my language. And, you know, you said the magic name that and I'll just be honest, ever since I have been listening to your music, and especially with this Reinvention, you know, these tracks for this album, I have been trying to put my finger on who do you sound like. You remind me of someone, Donny Hathaway. When you said it, it's like hitting the nail on the head. You have got that sound. I mean, you've got your own sound, but you really, I don't even know how to describe it, Daron. It's just really good stuff. And I love Donny Hathaway. Loved his stuff. You know, it's just amazing how you've got artists of our time, and some are no longer with us, that have really left their mark on music. I mean, there are just too many to name. But, you know, when I listen to your stuff, and I keep going back to you because the show is about you tonight, you know, but when I listen to your stuff, you know, my impression was you're going to be one of those artists that when you're gone one day, your music is going to live on. You know, it's going to live on because of what it means to so many people, and, you know, just what you brought to the music world. You're not a one-hit wonder. You've got a long history of music talent and just finesse and style, and it's just the kind of stuff that people are going to want to keep, you know, pulling out and listening to. You know, they're going to be in a Daron Jones mood and put it in. You know, that's just the way it's going to be, because I don't know, I think a lot of people, you know, I'm kind of this way, and I think a lot of people can identify with this. You know, we all have our moods for music. One day we like this, the next day we like this, but we have our favorites too that we just keep going back to. That no matter if we kind of varied off the beaten path, if you will, and just, you know, listen to this. We were in this mode yesterday. We kind of still gravitate back towards our favorite, and I think that's what really helps us know as individuals what our favorite style and genre of music is as a whole. And
right,
you know, even if you like all kinds of music, but when you draw from so many different musical inspirations, you know, it helps build your musical ability. You know, I think whether you're an artist or whether you're a fan, it helps expand your horizons in that way. But I hear that in your music. It's just, you know, like I said, you hear that old school sound of Prince and you know, the Michael Jackson days, and then you hear the modern stuff of today, and it's just so neat to have the best of both worlds colliding into some great stuff. And, you that's going to take us into the future, so to speak.
Yeah, I totally feel you on that. Music, it's almost like a sport, so you definitely have to, listen and take it in. You gotta listen to it, and every time you're listening to something and exposing yourself to new music, you're increasing that musical vocabulary. So it's definitely the move.
Oh, no doubt about it.
I say versatility is life. You the greatest basketball player. He's not just shooting it. He's shooting it. He's passing it. He dripped. He's handling the ball. You know what I'm saying? He's shooting threes. He's dunking it.
No doubt about it.
As a musician, you got to be able to, do a lot of different things.
Well, and you said that so well, because life is about change. And, if we were all the same, or we saw the same stuff or heard the same stuff all the time, it'd get boring real quick. And so it's nice to have it change up, and it's funny because it seems like every year, I only say this because, the start of school is right around the corner, and every year you see new styles come back. And I see styles now out and about that I say, gosh, that was in style when I was that age, and music is one of those things that it never loses its style. It can change and it can evolve, and it can transcend into something completely different that you've never heard before and catch fire. But it's, it is just one of those things that is a constant, and it just continues. And people love it no matter what, and it's a universal language, man.
Yes, ma'am, it is.
And that's one thing I say about the indie artists that we work real hard to promote, is that for me, the indie music world is what I consider the music industry's, unintentional best-kept secret, because I believe that some of the best music you'll ever hear is coming out of indie artists. And, that's not to take anything away from those who are mainstreaming and they've just seen tremendous success. But, you just hear so much passion and in the music that's produced by indie artists. It's really such a significant difference, because you really know that an artist is pouring everything they've got, blood, sweat, and tears, into what they're doing to make music for the fans and for their followers, and to put out the best product, not just this album or next album, but every single time. And it's just it's just so nice to see that, because the music industry has changed so much and it's become so cutthroat, and there's so much competition that it's nice to see, this fresh awakening of a brand of music that, I just think it's just on the cusp of being something really big, beyond what it is right now. And thanks to the world of social media, because if we didn't have social media, where would all the indie artists be,
Yeah, absolutely. I say the same thing. Salute to social media, because it gives people without record deals or without big budgets an opportunity to share their music with the world. So it's definitely the move.
Yeah, whoever created YouTube and Twitter, Facebook, and Ustream, all these different areas that are giving artists, aspiring, up and coming, the opportunity to be seen and heard. They are genius. They are genius. And of course, they're sitting somewhere right now sipping a nice drink too. but but seriously, they're having their day in the sun, man. But we are, I'm just amazed at all the different avenues that people can promote themselves now. Not just musically, but in a lot of different ways. And it's really helping people get them, help them be heard and getting it out there, and that's great, and it does, like you said, it really is helpful to those who are on limited or minimal budgets, to do the things that they want to do. So it's been a real good success. I know it has for our station and our show, and like I said, I see a lot of stuff going on with you and what you're doing in studio, a lot by virtue of social media, that otherwise, if we didn't have all that, no one that is trying to do what they're doing right now could do. So it's a blessing. It really is. And one thing I want to talk about that we haven't hit on yet that I want to give you a chance to talk about with the fans is, out of this Reinvention album, you've got a song on the album called Beautiful. And from what I understand, you have created a campaign around that song. Tell us a little bit about what you're trying to do with that.
Well, the Beautiful campaign is really an initiative that we're starting to just fight low self-esteem and just empower women from a standpoint of, feeling beautiful not only on the outside but on the inside as well. So it's really a campaign that we started, to fight low self-esteem. And the first part of the Beautiful campaign is the Beautiful Declaration. And right now, we got a lot of women from all over the world sending in their videos and just stating their name and declaring that they're beautiful, which is the first phase of the Beautiful campaign, the Declaration of Beauty. So you just send your video in declaring that you're beautiful. And moving forward, we're going to be doing women empowerment seminars across the country. But that's really what we're doing right now. And anybody that wants to be a part of the campaign, you can follow me on Twitter and shoot me a DM, and we'll get you the information, as far as exactly how to be a part of it. It's really simple.
Oh, that is awesome. And, I love when I see an artist or someone who has, who really has made a name for themselves, and they take and they give something back.
Right.
And I've read up on this campaign, and your promotions manager was, enlightening me on it, and I must tell you, kudos, Daron. It's awesome. Especially in this day and time, women are really at the forefront of a lot of things, and but in a lot of respects too, women, as far as we've come, I think in a lot of ways, sometimes women feel like, we feel all different sorts of things. We're an emotional being, but self-esteem is, we tend to beat ourselves up a lot, and over some of the silliest things, and we get dumped by a guy, and all of a sudden we're not worthy of being loved. I mean, we think all kinds of crazy things, and and something like this, I think, helps to remind us just how important and how special we are, and that we don't have to have any one particular person or thing in our lives to define us, but it's nice to have that reminder. And I think It's great that you're going to be doing these seminars, because women need this. We need that reinforcement. I think sometimes, we get built up sometimes by guys. We love hearing all the great things, but we have to believe in ourselves first, and the rest just kind of falls into place. And so this is going to be a really big thing. And I will tell you that I own my radio station. I own the show. I'm a woman entrepreneur, and anything I can do to help you with this, you let me know. I'll be glad to do whatever I can.
Okay, I will do. I'm definitely be getting at you about that real soon.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a wonderful effort, and women need this. Women need, and hey, what better way for a woman to feel empowered when Daron Jones is running a beautiful campaign? I mean, that's kind of, only a real man can run a beautiful campaign, and it's real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely real, because, I mean, I tell people a lot of times, you would be surprised the amount of women that said, I don't really feel like I'm beautiful, so I don't want to be a part of it, So I mean, I think it's something that's needed, and for me personally, I sing a lot of songs directly to women, and this campaign is about women and empowering women. But low self-esteem is something that I've dealt with myself. Even being an entertainer and selling 1 million records plus worldwide and producing for some of the biggest acts in the game. So I think low self-esteem is really something that can affect anybody. Like, it don't matter how much money you're making or how successful that you are. So I think, for me, this is something that's personal as well.
Yeah, and you wrote the song "Beautiful." Was the song born out of the idea of the Beautiful campaign, or was it kind of vice versa? The Beautiful campaign kind of came out of the song you wrote.
The campaign, the campaign came from came from the song. You know, the song came first, and then the campaign kind of was inspired after.
That's just awesome, and I know that there are going to be a lot of women fans of yours across this great country who are going to be lining up to go to these seminars. So it's going to be a great thing, Daron, and I commend you for taking something that for a lot of people, like you say, man or woman, can be such a personal thing, because I think all of us, self-esteem does not discriminate. It's like a lot of things we have to constantly remind ourselves that we are worthy, and that, just because someone tells us we can't or we're no good or whatever it may be to try and knock us down, we have to believe within that we're better than that, and that, we're not what people define us as being. And, you being an entertainer and you being an artist, I'm sure that in your day, in your experiences through the years, that there have probably been producers that have said no, and there's been rejection. I think in the music industry, it's probably one of the most brutal, beat up industries you can be in, because there's so many people vying to make it, and and it's a really cutthroat world, and you've got to grow a thick skin, and you can't take everything you hear so personally, but it's hard not to when you're so passionate and you believe in what you're doing, and you want someone so desperately to believe in it too. And and people don't always see things the way we see them, and it's really hard. It can really do a number on you mentally, and weigh into the self-confidence and self-esteem. So I think anytime something positive can be introduced to society to serve as a reminder to people that, we are important, no matter what people try to tell us we are, that's always a good thing. And so I really, I wish you well with that, and much success. I hope the same just takes off like wildfire for you.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Most definitely. Well, we, if you don't mind, we're going to open up the lines and take some calls and let some of your fans talk to you. We've got quite a few holding, and I know they want to see me shut up so they can talk to you. So anyway, I'm going to open up the lines. We have got Shannon on the line.
What's up, Shannon?
Hello.
How you doing?
You're on with Daron.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey, how are you doing?
Everything good. I can't complain. What about yourself?
Hey, I'm doing good. I can't believe I'm talking to you right now. Hey,
I appreciate you calling in.
Yeah, out of nowhere. This was a couple of days ago. I listened to 112 on and off because, I love 90s music.
Mm-hmm.
And so, now, out of nowhere today, I found out that you were on Jammin Jukebox. So, I decided to call in. And so I'm I was the first person up. And you're the first celebrity I'm talking to over the phone.
Well, that's what's up. I definitely appreciate all the support, of 112 and, the music as a whole, and I definitely appreciate you calling in.
Yep, and so, I went on YouTube, and so, I would try to look up different interviews of each of you.
Mm-hmm.
And then, very inspirational, I never get tired of music, of the 90s music especially, R&B, and you never get tired of gospel music either.
Amen.
I know. Yep.
True that.
Daron,
wow.
she is to be commended because she called in before you did, and she has been on hold for probably about 38, 39 minutes. So kudos to her. I mean, thank you so much for hanging in there with us.
All right.
Yeah, thank you, for real.
Of course. Yep. But yeah, just telling y'all, I'm very proud of y'all, doing your own independent labels. So,
thank you.
But yeah, you guys, when you guys were really popular, this was during my elementary school days. I would listen to y'all all the time, listen to the same song.
That's what's up. It's all love, baby. We appreciate that.
Yep. I see we had a couple things in common, though, as I was hearing the phone conversation. Kind of struggling with the low self-esteem and, we don't really need to carry that on. And I really like to hear about this women empowerment thing. Like, what are you doing for the women empowerment? Like, is it just basically about how?
It's the beautiful campaign. So the whole purpose of it is to fight low self-esteem and empower women worldwide. So we're doing it in phases, and the first phase of it is the declaration of beauty. So a lot of women from all over the world are just sending us their videos and stating their name and declaring that they're beautiful. And then from there, we're going to do women empowerment seminars across the country. So, I mean, we would definitely love to have you a part of it. It's a very powerful initiative, and I think it's needed right now.
Okay. Oh yeah, and I heard that you were raised by your mom and you had a couple sisters.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's probably what helped you, I assume. Like, caring for women, since you have like that female figure in your life.
Absolutely.
Okay. But yeah, I have a few questions. Like, have you met any popular musicians, like, in your early days before you were famous, like high school, middle school?
Well, yeah, I've kind of met some of everybody.
Have you met, like, Stevie Wonder or Aretha Franklin?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard you, also love to cook. So what's your favorite food to cook?
I can't really say that I have a favorite food to cook. It's really hard to say. But I'll say the last thing that I made was a ribeye steak. When I made that with some, a little bit of thyme, kosher salt and pepper, and I made a mushroom sauce to go with it. So that was the last thing that I cooked. Yeah.
Wow.
And the next time you cook that ribeye steak, we're all coming to eat because it sounds delicious. So you put the word out on Twitter. You put the word out. We'll all bring a fixin'. Put the word on Twitter, and we will be there to eat. Okay?
I'm down. Let's go.
Yeah, let's chow out, man. I mean, that's,
I'll bring in some vegetable barley stew.
That's smooth right there.
That's right. That's right.
So, like, are you still in Atlanta?
Yeah, I am. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Yep. So, let's see. So, like, what else is your Reinvention album about? Like, is it just you, how you are now as an older person?
Yeah, I mean, Reinvention is just the definition I like to roll with is reinvention, taking something that is familiar and making an improvement of it. So, it's a lot of the 90s flavor that I made when I was a younger musician, but, of course, it has evolved in a lot of different ways. So it's basically like an updated version of 90s music.
Okay.
90s R&B.
Yeah. So, like, when you learn, I know I have, like, random questions because, like, I love talking to you right now. This is exciting. So, so I basically have just random questions.
Right.
Yeah. But when you basically have your natural gift for music, did you, like, take any piano lessons, or did it all come to you by ear and then you just started learning on your own?
Well, I started off just playing it by ear, and then, when I was a little older, my mom put me in piano lessons. So I did that for a while, but I still never really learned how to read music because I was just so I always just wanted to play by ear. So
yeah,
it was more natural for me to listen to something and play it.
Okay. So, like, have you recently spoken to, any of the other 112 members?
Yeah, we're actually putting a tour together called For the Fans Tour, and we've been doing a lot of spot dates right now. We did Shane Park in Detroit with Jagged Edge and the Brat, and we also did a date in I can't even think of the city right now, but Atlantic City. That was the other date that we did. So we're gonna be doing Cleveland pretty soon and a few other places. So if you want to know about the show dates, you can follow our official group page on Twitter. It's @official112, and you can get all the show dates for the upcoming shows that we got coming.
Okay, so at official112 Twitter.
At official112.
Okay. Wow. Oh my goodness.
and Shannon, if you want to follow Daron, if you want to follow Daron on Twitter, it's Daron Jones Music, and you can find out when he's streaming and all kinds of great things that he's got going on as well.
Okay. Yep. Wow. I know you don't pass out. I know that's a funny question. I know you don't pass out like your phone number, do you?
No.
No. All right. Well, Shannon, we're gonna have to let alone because there's several more callers wanting to get in and talk with him before the show ends. But thank you so much for calling in and for being such a trooper and holding as long as you did.
All right. Make sure you give a shout out to me, Daron.
All right, will do, Shannon. Thank you for calling. All
right, Shannon Blow from Maryland. All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
Take care. All right. Area code 205, you're on with Daron.
Hi, I didn't know that I was in queue.
You most definitely are. Do you want to talk to Daron?
I always want to talk to Daron.
Well, all right then. Who is
Hi.
this and where are you calling from?
This is Natasha, and I'm calling from the universe.
Hi, hey, Natasha, how you doing? You calling from the universe. I ain't mad at you.
Yeah, I'm calling from the universe. Yeah, this is Natasha Finley. So I guess since I'm just on the line, I have to ask a question then. But so I've enjoyed your interview. I always do. And what I wanted to know, and this is like a long shot, but I am a very, very, very big supporter of yours, and I think that that's like obvious to anyone that follows me on Twitter. And what I want to know is if you could give me a personal shout out and just say, you know, like Natasha Finley plus model is a winner on the Daron Jones team. So if you're willing to, I would appreciate
No doubt,
that.
I can do that. No doubt. I got you on that.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's no problem. All good. And I appreciate you calling in, for real. And I appreciate all your support on Twitter. I'll be feeling that, man. I'll be feeling that love. I appreciate that.
Thank you. I'm a faithful supporter because I believe in you and everything. And I wish I was bold like Shannon to ask for your number, but since you said you don't give it out, I won't ask.
Natasha?
I'm like, yeah, I give my number out so everybody that's listening to just be blowing me up tonight.
Oh, my word. You be changing that phone when you hang up here. That's for sure. You be changing that number. Natasha, I want to give you a personal thank you for, you know, helping retweet these tweets about this interview tonight. I mean, and thanks for the follow. I saw where you followed me today, and I haven't had a chance to shout out at you. Thanks for that. It's been really crazy today. But thank you so much for all your support of helping get the word out about the interview tonight. I really appreciate that.
You're welcome. It was my pleasure. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
You're so very welcome.
Bye.
Bye. We'll be seeing you around.
All right.
Take care. All right, let's see. Area code 336, you're on with Daron. Go ahead.
Hey, Daron, what's up, man?
Hey, what's cracking?
Guess who?
Who?
Carrie.
You say what now?
Carrie.
Hey, what's going on?
Nothing at work again.
Oh, okay. I hear you.
Yeah, I gotta be grinding like you.
That's what it is.
What's that shoe you wear?
12.
Oh, good. Okay. You like picnics?
You say what?
You like picnics?
Picnics?
You like going on picnics?
Well, you know, It depends, I guess. Here and there, I don't know. I can't remember last time I went on a picnic.
Well, we're going to change that, ain't we? And when you come to North Carolina, is it the 8th or the 15th?
I'm not sure.
What do you mean you're not sure, man? I need to know this kind of stuff.
I'm not sure, because I don't be knowing like a lot of the dates off the top of my head. Because it's a lot of dates coming up.
Okay, then. All right. That's all I needed to know.
But you following me on Twitter, right? And you following the official 112 page, right?
No, I don't do Twitter that good. I don't understand how to work Twitter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I remember I'm on your other personal thing, and I do the Facebook thing. That's how,
Okay, that's the move then. So I'll keep you posted when that show come through.
Okay, then. I'm from North Carolina, so you know what the deal is.
All right, that's what's up.
What part of North Carolina? I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name. What's your first name?
Carrie.
Carrie?
Yeah.
Okay. What part of North Carolina are you from? I'm from North Carolina as well.
I'm originally from Wilkesboro, North Carolina, but I live in Greensboro, North Carolina right now.
You are 20 minutes down the road from me, girl. What are you talking about?
Really?
You could have been at my house listening.
I'm
in
shaking
the world. 20 minutes down the road.
Whoa, okay. Represent.
North Carolina representing on the phone tonight. I saw the area 336. I knew you was North Carolina, but I didn't know where.
Dang, man, that's what's up, man.
That is it. And my daughter, my oldest daughter that I was speaking about earlier, she lives in Greensboro. She lives off of Wendover.
Really? Dang, that's where I'm at right now.
Don't you dare tell me you know her.
I don't know. Maybe.
Young. You might.
No, I'm old. I'm 27.
Oh, she's younger than you. She's a little younger.
Old.
She'll be 22, and that's not old though. That's not old. Trust me. But
I'm old like Daron. I'm old like Daron.
Daron ain't old. Daron ain't old.
Yeah.
Daron
hey, I'm up there, baby.
Old.
30's the new 20.
30's the new 20. Well, I ain't talking about.
30's the new 20,
not,
baby.
Yeah, whatever, man. You're old too.
You know.
To be 30 again, folks. To be 30 again. That's all I'm gonna say.
I know. My bones be cracking every night.
Loud and proud, I am glad that you called in. I really am. I mean, it's always exciting. It's always exciting to talk to people from all over when I do these shows, but to have somebody about at my back door, my gosh, it's crazy.
Oh, well, shout out to your daughter, wherever she at in Greensboro, and Daron, just hit me up on Facebook. You know what the deal is,
All right. Thank you for calling in.
Light bread, okay?
All right.
All right. Bye, boy.
Peace.
Take care of yourself.
Light bread.
That was going to stay with me the rest of the night. I can tell you that now, Daron.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That's the thing about live radio. You just don't ever know what you're going to get sometimes. You just don't ever know.
Yeah, but that's what make it fun and make it real and not so contrived, so I can appreciate that.
That's exactly right, and that's what we strive for. We just do something informal like a party, just friends having
this
fun.
The future, man. This the future right here. This where they got to go to. They got to get on this level. This is the level that the radio need to be on right now.
Yeah, I agree, and I love this format because it does allow fans to connect with the artist, even if it's just for a few minutes, and especially if it's somebody that's your favorite, that you can call up and you get to talk to someone up close and personal live on the phone that otherwise you wouldn't, a decade ago even, this would have never been possible, even 10 years ago. So it's just amazing the age of technology and how far it's come and what it's able to do versus what it used to do. So it's just so cool how we can connect, the fans to you guys. And they love it too. I mean, in a lot of respects, it helps, make a dream come true for some. So it's a really good thing. So, well, we got a few minutes more left. Is there anything else you want the fans to know? Anything upcoming? What have you got? You got any shows coming up? Are you performing your, solo anywhere anytime soon?
right now, the next show I got is with 112 in Cleveland, so we're going to be doing all the classic 112 music, and we also going to be doing some of our solo music as well. So just stay tuned. Keep following me on Twitter. That's at Daron Jones Music if you're not doing that already. You know, the new album Reinvention coming soon. I want to say thank you to all the fans for y'all years of support, and you know, we appreciate that. God bless everybody. Thank you for having me on the show.
Oh, you are more than welcome, and we are just so delighted that you were able to fit us into your schedule tonight. I know you've been slam busy of late, you know, between performing and writing and producing. It's just been nonstop, and so to give us some of your time, it's been quite the honor and the privilege, and we appreciate it. And we hope you'll, you know, once your album drops, Daron, I'd love to have you back on so we can talk about the album in its entirety and, you know, maybe play some of the stuff, take some more calls from fans, and you know, maybe touch base with you later in the year, and, you know, heck, try to get 112 on, you know, and get you guys on, and you know, just talk about what's going on in your world, and keep the fans updated. We love to support you, and we'll do all we can for you. So
sounds like a plan.
It's been great. Well, we're going to close the show tonight with a song off of your album that is centered around your beautiful campaign called Beautiful. And as we close, before we close, I want to again thank you for being here with us. It's been a real treat. I know the fans have just loved it. So thank you for making it possible for them. And fans, thank you so much. We've enjoyed having you here with us. We will be back on Saturday night, 9 p.m. We will have Vonzell Solomon, Season 4, American Idol, second runner-up. So be right here with us. We're going to, you know, talk to her and find out what's going on with her. But we close the show tonight with Beautiful. And thank you, Daron. We will be back in touch with you soon. Thank you. Peace. We love you, my man.
Peace. Thank you. Love you.
Take care.
Peace. You too.